daggers, swords, war axes, maces, longswords, bows, staves, and of course, magic. Needless to say, Skyrim has a ton of weapon options available, and when combined with the plethora of skills and fighting tactics at hand, it's easy to see why playing through the game multiple times can result in highly different experiences. Now, usually a player will select one or two weapon types and stick with them all the way through their playthrough. This allows your character to really hone in on their skills and specialize to the point of being an unstoppable killing machine. However, what happens when you're forced to use all the weapon types simultaneously, and it's all completely random? Today we'll be answering just that as we attempt to play Skyrim, but every kill randomizes our weapon. Now for this video I took great inspiration from a joyous man named Jabo. He's actually attempted this challenge in Skyrim as well as Fallout 4, and I personally found both the videos as well as gameplay to be an absolute delight. So much so, I've decided to try my own hand at it. Like usual, we'll have some base ground rules. First off, we must always use the weapon or spell given to us. No swapping just because we unlucked into an iron dagger versus a big bad boss. 2, our main goal is to beat the entire game while using this mod. That means we not only have to face some strong, unavoidable bosses, but we'll also need to fight multiple dragons, all with whatever weapon the RNG gods decide to bless us with. And lastly, no exploits or game-breaking bugs. This includes no abusing alchemy to make overpowered potions or poisons, or using hidden chests like the one in Dawnstar to bring in tons of money and free soul gems. As with our last Stolen Challenge video, if you enjoyed this, I highly recommend checking out Jabo, the original author of this challenge, as well as the mod itself created by Red Yeti. Honestly, this is some incredible work. It plays super smooth and really brings a whole new level of enjoyment to this decade-old game. Now I'll be using basically the same mod list as last time, so it's still based around the AVO mod list on Wabbajack. However, I have removed the alternate start mod that comes with the pack for a true natural experience with the mod and game. Outside of that, everything in the game is just the same as vanilla, but with a lot better graphics and several bug fixes. If you're interested in the list, please check the description for all links. Now, on to the challenge. Our hero for today will be an orc, as their racial ability allows them to take half damage, meanwhile also dealing double damage. So pretty much no matter what weapon we're given, we'll be able to take a hit, as well as dish some out. Also, nothing strikes more fear into a foe than a hulking green monster swinging furiously without relent. So after seeing our savior Alduin destroy both Stormcloak and Imperial alike, we tag team with Hadvar, got our bindings cut, and dipped our toes into the first bit of combat. Alright. There you go, Skimter.
Damn you.
Come on. We may have to up the difficulty actually, because he was blocking and I just got those off. Glass mace. And after just 2 kills, I was immediately addicted. Every fight felt like a new challenge, as our fighting style would need to change from firing a bow in a corner to up close and personal. Honestly, I had a big smile going through the entire tutorial area, so much so that my face hurt by the end of it. With our main mission being to complete the main mission, we continued on down into Riverwood and continued testing the extent of this new and wild ride. For instance, some weapons you get will be severely overpowered for your level, as weapons can have enchantments, as well as different levels of sharpening applied. Heck yeah.
Don't leave me for Arcade's sake.
Arnell, you're not gonna stand a chance, my man.
Get me out of here. You, over here. It's coming loose.
It's coming loose. Yeah, I think so. Just keep your head right there. However, you'll generally want to keep your distance when finishing a foe off, as when your weapon swaps, it does take a slight second to bring up the new one. I mean, after all, you are playing Murderous Mary Poppins, so you gotta give yourself time to reach into your magical purse of mayhem. Clearing most fights was actually relatively easy, as I tried to focus on stronger enemies with the better weapons, and honestly, we probably could have flown through this early main questline in less than an hour, had I not forgotten to loot the bodies containing the actual quest items, that is. I mean, I literally ran all the way to Whiterun from Bleak Falls Barrow just to discover I never even picked up the Dragonstone.
I have my sources.
Did I not grab the Dragonstone? Are you kidding me? Oh, man.
You've got the aptitude. You should join the Mages College in Winterhold.
Yeah, that was a bummer for sure. Any hoosers, the great thing about this challenge is you never get what you want or think you'll get when you swap weapons. For instance, I was worried I would have to fight the first dragon with a dagger, but much to my surprise, I was given an ash spawn conjuration. Now, this ash spawn wasn't actually too quick to really catch up to the dragon on its own, so I had to employ the assistance of my naturally installed weapons, my fist. Now, you could argue that this isn't technically the weapon I was given, to which I would say, well, if you close your casting hand and fall forward just a little bit, letting gravity do its work, you're right back to a punch, so, we can let this slide for now. Balgruuf obviously didn't understand the rules of the run, though, as he still tried to give me an enchanted weapon as a reward. That's alright, I never pegged him as the smartest sweet roll lover in Skyrim. And now, with the ability to shout, we were on our way to do the ever so lengthy and dialogue-filled portion of the main quest that involves listening to the Greybeards spout on and on about ancient customs and how good they are with their throats. I mean, I guess it makes sense. A bunch of guys locked away on an isolated mountain. I'm sure times can get lonely, and sometimes all you need to get through a tough time is some good throat. For the large majority of the early game, we were moving quickly and without too many errors. Take the novice conjurer out first. We're on to a mace. Oh snap. No snap. Let's retreat just a little bit. Okay. Launch over. Oh, didn't realize there was another buddy behind him here. Alright. Should be landlocked perhaps the next time we get him down, if we can deal enough damage. Alright, get in there, Delphine. This is it. Oh, no, come on. You big cheater. Don't land over there. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This one's yours. What? You think just because you did 90% of the work on this guy, you get to claim the whole kill? I'm in my sweet spot here. I'm in my zone. Delphine is tanking like a beast over there. Uh-oh. I think she might have went down. It's up to us with our mighty dagger of... Oh, goodness. Top health bot. We're almost... Oh, thank God.
I'll be damned. You did it.
However, when the deaths began raining in, they absolutely poured. We went from 1 to 5 in one quick 30-minute period. You see, the thing is, sometimes the random weapons you're given are garbage, and sometimes they are back-to-back garbage. Holy crap, there's so many of you. I'm out. This is really the best I can do. Oh, we're about to die. Oh, we're about to... Okay. Whoa! Whoa! A fire atronach? You don't need that. Oh, we're all out of health bots too. Alright, 3 deaths. That sneak attack didn't work out at all. Alright, let's do this again. Oh, I'm still crouched. Oh, we're so screwed. Do I have Berserker Rage available? I do. Oh, it's nowhere near enough. These Thalmor are not messing around. Not to mention some spells you think you know how to use until you begin channeling a master tier spell, all while surrounded by way too many enemies. We continued on, hacking, slashing, and slaying our way through the main quest, and we continued to level up. I focused our skills mostly around defensive abilities, as we really only had a problem when we were given a super weak weapon and were surrounded by countless foes. It also probably didn't help that I was trying to do the main quest line a bit under-leveled, so a lot of enemies simply outranked me. That being said, Skyrim's main quest line is a fairly easy one, so I think we'll be fine. On our way down into the Rat Warrens, as we were trying to find Esbern, we stumbled across what I'm assuming is another piece of Creation Club content, as there was a whole mini quest line requiring us to slay multiple guardians, all of which were fairly difficult. Now, after cowering our way to victory in some rather unconventional means, we were rewarded with an incredibly awesome sword. Yep, a weapon. Something we can't even use. Too bad too, because this sword looked badass. Guess it'll just have to be a nice decorational piece for when we finally get our own home, if that ever happens. As for now, it's back to dragon investigating. As we neared Skyhaven Temple, the difficulty of the challenge really began creeping up on us. Here we took on our first real heavy number of deaths, as we were attempting to fight not only the Forsworn, but also a blood dragon simultaneously. Been a bad idea. He looked pretty damaged, didn't he? Was this fire? Yeah, probably should have done that sooner. Alright. One-handed bow, strength. Yeah, none of that's really gonna help me. Let's try to... Okay. Get her. She slowed me. There's a lot of other enemies. And the dragon's in the way. Oh, we can walk through his tail. That is huge. We got her. We got her. We're good. No, what the hell is that? With the healing, get out of here. No, no, no. Oh man, these two-handed weapons. Run, run. Oh my God. Oh, the dodges. Oh, the dodge. Oh, okay. The problem arose from me trying to get the killing blow on the dragon, meanwhile also needing to dodge a ton of ice spells. Eventually we were blessed with a master level lightning spell that obliterated everything to the touch. The only problem was the spell took about 3 seconds to charge up, which is obviously enough time for a few Forsworn to absolutely decimate you. Nonetheless, we stumbled on through the main story here, and eventually made our way to Paarthurnax. This was an interesting journey up the mountain, as the weapon we rolled into was none other than an Ice Spike Staff. Generally, I'd be pretty happy with this staff, as it deals moderate damage, and allows you to keep your distance from harder enemies. However, when you're climbing a frozen mountain, covered with ice wraiths, all of which taking 0 damage from ice spells, the trip turns into something more akin to a deadly obstacle course, in which you must dodge the wraiths, clear the path by shouting, and of course, navigate a mountain which can easily kill you from one false step. Regardless, we were finally successful in reaching the wise old dragon, who began to lecture us once again. Seems like everybody in Skyrim has their own 2 cents, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm just not that interested. From there, he sent us to the Mages College, and to which they sent us to Blackreach, in search of an Elder Scroll. Now, Blackreach is definitely one of the strongest locations one truly experiences in the world of Skyrim. The enemy's damage output greatly rises when compared to that of bandits. Not to mention, the Dwemer machines are pretty much extremely resistant to most types of damage. So it was at this point I decided it was time for Sneak to begin playing a role in our character's small wheelhouse of usable talents. This would allow us to bypass fights we just weren't equipped well enough for, as well as give us a little extra damage for all those weapons whose punch just doesn't exactly pack the power we need. When it came to the Dwemer automatons, I mostly just ran past them, as our damage rarely ever matched how quickly they could kill us, and I didn't feel like spending 5 hours down here. Oh my God, we're so screwed. We're so screwed. Oh wait, we can only do one of these at a time. And I'm out of mana. And the nice part with Blackreach is the Falmer and Dwemer machines constantly fight. So as long as you can manage to run them into one another, most of the work becomes a lot easier. Finally, we had made our way down into the actual main area of Blackreach, to which we were greeted with several Falmer and Dwemer both trying to take us out. However, thanks to some super secret Skyrim knowledge I have, I was able to summon a dragon who dealt with most of the enemies for me, and honestly gave us a pretty entertaining big boss battle to watch between a dragon and a Dwemer Centurion. Baby. I'm just gonna sit over here and watch. Get a little toggle menu mode. This is a great fight. Some shit you can get on primetime television. Alas, finally we had reached the Elder Scroll, exited Blackreach, and headed back to Paarthurnax to learn the one shout that would finally level the playing field versus all dragons. And following this lengthy cutscene was our first real fight with Alduin. At first I was sure it was going to be a long and difficult fight in which we would die many a times, but thanks to Paarthurnax's distracting flying, and Alduin rarely ever noticing me, it actually seemed like Alduin's true weakness in all of this was nearsightedness. The big dumb lizard needs glasses, who would have thought? So with our nearly half-blind enemy super distracted, he was swiftly defeated. And now it was time to listen to a bunch of grown men argue semantics of war. You know, if I wanted this, I'd just turn on the local news or anything dealing with politicians. But I digress. When it came time to call our dragon Uber ride to Soverengarde, everything was going fine. That is until we went to release the dragon and everybody became hostile again. This bug happened a few times over and certainly scared me with the thought of being unable to complete the main quest line. I mean, if we can't get on this dragon's back, there's no way for us to fly out to Alduin and prove ourselves with whatever weapon we may end up, unfortunately, beholding. So, I did a full restart on the good old Skyrim, and we had our invisible steed finally back. Not gonna lie, nothing really bothered me about the fact that he was invisible, but it did add an extra bit of humor as we rode off into the sunset. Kinda looked like we were riding a giant invisible broom. When we landed, we were at the ancient temple, which is supposed to act as one of the hardest locations in the game. With high-level draugrs crawling over every inch, and massive dragons swooping down every 5 minutes or so, it's pretty easy to confirm that claim as well. Now, in order to deal with the massive amounts of enemies, we turned to some new tactics, like shouting enemies off high ledges. Definitely worked. Although he didn't take any fall damage, which I'm not gonna lie. Oh, he took all the fall damage. And employing the use of trees as big old bodyguards. Finally, as we reached the top and began fighting the dragon priest who was guarding the portal, we actually had a really good staff to assist us. However, due to its high AoE damage, we accidentally killed a lower draugr and were forced to swap to a much worse melee weapon. Oh, we swapped because we killed one of the other ones. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. This, of course, placed us in the position of dying over and over again as we attempted to get close enough to the priest to deal damage, while also avoiding the plethora of powerful undead poking us in the back. Oh no, no, oh no. But as with most obstacles in this challenge, a hard head and willingness to suffer allowed me to eventually overpower the true final boss of the game and hop our happy selves straight into Soverengarde. Now, I say the Dragon Priest is the true final boss because everything about that fight feels like a classic boss fight. The enemy is extremely strong and has minions to attack you to try and keep you at distance. Meanwhile, as we approach the final Alduin fight, we recruit 3 extra soldiers to be the best meat shields anyone could ask for, and we also managed to score a super strong Stalrim sword with a Chaos enchantment on it that decimated most of Alduin's health bar. So yeah, I'd have to say the Dragon Priest was a little bit harder of a fight just by sheer comparison. Nonetheless, after a rather short victory against the Dragon God, we were rewarded with some lame dragon fireworks, and our mission was completed. I mean, we managed to go through the entire Skyrim campaign with every kill randomizing our weapon, and had an absolute blast while doing so. This has been by far one of the most fun challenges on the channel. Not only did it force us to play in new and unique styles, it also showcased a ton of weapons, which I had no idea existed inside of Skyrim. So if you're someone who enjoys an added layer of difficulty and wants to try something fresh with the game, I really can't recommend this mod and challenge enough. It had me laughing at ridiculous fighting conditions and screaming in excitement as we defeated some rather challenging foes. The final stats also told an interesting story as we ended the game with around 18 deaths, give or take one or two that I might have missed, and a hard skew in favor of magic, staves, bows, and axes of all things. I mean, we did have a fair few swords as well, which seemed appropriate as that's the one that you think you would end up with the most of. However, ultimately it looks like Todd Howard just doesn't share your love for warhammers and maces. In the end, it was a sword that delivered the final blow to Alduin, so maybe those get some bonus points there as well. Nonetheless, I do hope you enjoyed this challenge, as it was a thrill to play and record for. If you're interested in watching us attempt our challenges live, consider hopping over to our Twitch channel and tossing a follow. We'll have a link down below for you, so it's pretty easy access. It's a great way to see what's coming up next for us, as well as interact with me live as I laugh and shriek like a little girl. Anyways, I do appreciate your support as always, and as per the usual, I hope you stay safe, stay awesome, and stay crafting. And until next time, you beautiful ladies and gentlemen, peace out.